Hi everyone, I'm Rincey and this is Rincey Reads. This probably looks a little bit different for those of you who have seen all of my videos. I forgot to grab the lens that I usually use from my sister, so I'm using my standard lens on my camera, so that's why it looks a lot different, but that's okay. It'll still look decent. I have just a couple of things I want to go over, and then at the very end I'll have a little bit of a mini book haul. The first thing is that Liz at eLizzie Books decided to highlight my channel on one of her episodes, and that has been great because within the weekend I basically have gotten another 100 subscribers, which is insane since it took me like a month to get the first 100. If for some reason you're not already subscribed to her channel, I'll leave a link to her channel down below. She's really great and she's so much better at this than I am, and I'm so grateful that she decided to highlight my channel in one of her videos, and so thank you so much for that, and thank you to everyone who decided to subscribe to my channel after watching that video. Hopefully you guys like it. Like I said, I got about 100 new subscribers after that little promotion, so now I'm at 250 subscribers, which is crazy. After she, showed my channel and promoted me a little bit, I saw like a handful of people subscribe to my channel almost immediately after the video went up, and then I went to bed. And then I woke up the next morning and my inbox was like, you have 60 new messages in your YouTube folder. I was like, oh, wow. And that was just the first night, and then throughout the weekend and through today I've gotten the rest of you guys, and it's just insane to watch that happen. So like I said, I have about 250 subscribers right now. I'm not going to do a giveaway just because I just did a giveaway and I got the next 100 so quickly that I didn't have time to plan for anything. So what I was thinking is that maybe I'll do a giveaway at like 500 or so, and then for 250 maybe I'll do a Q&A. I mean, I feel like it's kind of narcissistic to assume that you guys have questions about me, but if you guys do have questions, you can leave it down in the comments below. And basically what I'll do is if I get more than like 10 questions or 10 different people asking questions, I'll make a video Q&A. And then if I don't get that many questions, I'll just answer everyone individually in the comments. So that way no one gets hurt either way. So if you have questions, leave them down below. I'll be very happy to answer them in a video very soon. I'm thinking I'll record the video around July 8th, so I'll leave that as the final deadline so that way you guys have some time, just in case people don't see these videos right away. You know, I know not everyone sees them the day it goes up and things like that. I'm giving you guys plenty of time to leave questions, and I'll remind you guys in future videos as well, so that way if you guys have any questions, it could be about anything. It doesn't have to be about books, or it can be about books because, it's a book channel. So whatever questions you guys have, leave them down below and I'll try to answer them. One other thing that I kind of wanted to go over is just how I do this whole channel. I mean, a lot of you guys are new, so it'd be kind of good to explain it, but basically the way I've been doing it is that I post twice a week, usually Tuesday, Thursdays, and then usually Tuesdays are book related videos, so they're usually tags or hauls or things like this where I'm just talking about books or something. And then my Thursdays is when I post the book reviews. That works really well for me just because my book reading schedule can vary quite a bit, so sometimes I have like 3 books that I just read, and sometimes it takes me a little while, so then I can kind of queue up my book reviews. But you guys can feel free to let me know what you guys think of my videos so far. Obviously I read all the comments and things like that, so if you guys have any suggestions or anything like that, feel free to let me know and leave your suggestions down in the comments below. Okay, so now I'll do my book haul. It's not that many books, but these are just basically all the books that I've purchased since my last book haul. And one thing I'll say is I'm done buying books for the summer. I have way too many books sitting there that are like taunting me because I need to read them really badly, and so I have decided that I'm not going to buy any more books until September, and the only exception to that will be if I'm doing some sort of like group reading or like, book club type thing. That'll be the only book I'll buy, but otherwise no more books until September. We'll see if that actually happens. So the first book that I have is Swamplandia by Karen Russell. This was listed as one of the New York Times best books of last year. This is also one of the books that was nominated for a Pulitzer, and if you guys didn't know, there was like this big hullabaloo. That's such a weird word to use. There was sort of like this big news story around the Pulitzer Prize this year because they didn't give out a prize for fiction. There's all this complicated stuff that goes into it, but basically there was no Pulitzer Prize given out for fiction, which hasn't happened since like the 1970s. And so this is one of the books that was nominated for it. Usually I try to read the Pulitzer winners from every year just because I'm always interested in seeing like who they've chosen or what book they've chosen and why. I don't always like them. But I always like to at least give them a chance because there's always a reason why they're being recognized, and I always understand that reason even though I don't necessarily always like the book myself. The next book that I purchased was Ray Bradbury's Fahrenheit 451. Those of you who watch the Vlog Brothers videos obviously know that Hank and John have decided to do a Nerdfighter book club this summer, and they announced that Fahrenheit 451 was going to be the book that they chose this year. I've already read it. It's only 150 pages long, so in case you guys are interested in it, I definitely recommend picking this up. It doesn't take very long to read, and it's a very understandable storyline, and I'll save more comments for when I actually do a review. They haven't given any sort of schedule for their book club or how they're doing their reading this summer, so basically if you haven't picked up the book already, pick it up. It won't take you very long to read it all, and then I'm sure in the next couple weeks or so they'll be posting a video, you know, once VidCon's done and everything like that and they have more time to talk about it, so I definitely recommend doing that. One funny story about this book haul, when I went to go pick up Fahrenheit 451, I wanted to buy like 5 other books and I didn't, and I was so proud of myself for not doing it and only buying the one book that I needed to buy that I posted about it on Tumblr. And then literally the next day I was like, oh, there's one book I forgot to get that I need, which is this book, Good Omens by Terry Pratchett and Neil Gaiman, and I'll explain that in a second. But basically I was like, oh, I forgot to pick up Good Omens, and then I go and I buy Good Omens, and then I ended up buying all the other books except for Swamplandia I had from before. But there's like the rest of the books in the book haul after Good Omens I bought and just on a splurge. So ridiculous. I have no self-control whatsoever. Anyways, so yeah, the next book, like I said, is Good Omens by Terry Pratchett and Neil Gaiman. The reason why I picked this one up, or I wanted to pick this one up, is because there's a little bit of a YouTube book club happening online. In case you guys didn't see, Sablecott, I'll link to her video down below, decided to give out a bunch of copies of this book as like giveaways and things like that, and to other YouTubers that she knows. So that way everyone can basically read the book this summer and then we can all talk about it and things like that. I wasn't one of the people who received a book from her, but when I saw that video I was like, oh, I would love to do something like this too. So I picked up a copy of the book. Basically she said she wanted everyone to read like the first 150 pages, which is like the first third of the book, by like last week I think, but she hasn't posted a video yet. Other people have. She hasn't posted a video yet, so I feel like I'm still good. I'm only about 30 pages in, if you can see the little bookmark, but I really like it so far. It's very clever. I've never read anything by Neil Gaiman or Terry Pratchett before, so I was really excited to give it a chance because obviously I know who they are and I've heard so many great things about them. It's exciting to kind of see their writing finally. So like I said, these next books are my splurge books. This one is The Alchemist by Michael Scott, which is part of the Secrets of the Immortal Nicholas Flamel series. I have trouble saying that. I've heard a lot about this series. It's a young adult series, I believe, and I think the last book just came out. I've heard a lot about them and I've always wanted to kind of check them out, so I decided to pick up the first book since it was kind of on, had it on sale since the last book just came out. And so I decided I would pick up the first book, and if I like it, I'll keep going with the series. If you've read this one, please let me know what you guys think of it. I would love to know. The next book I picked up is Incendiary by Cleave. I picked it up because of the stupid 20% off sticker, and those things always get me. Stupid marketing. I read Little Bee by Cleave, and he has a new book out called Gold, which is all about the Olympics that I really, really want to pick up. Stupid book buying ban. But that book is all about the Olympics and it'd be perfect to read right now, right before the Olympics or during the Olympics. Basically, this is a story about a woman whose husband and son has been killed by terrorist attacks. I believe they die in 9/11, but I don't know for sure. But I know it's from a terrorist attack for sure. And so it's basically like her dealing with that situation, which should be really, really interesting. And I'm excited to read that book. And then the final book in my haul is Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. I will admit that I'm kind of disappointed that they only had this cover out. I guess they re-released it, but I really like the old cover. This one's so busy. And I love the simple covers where it was like the solid, I think, orange, and then it had like this font on it saying Ready Player One in yellow. Ugh, I'm very upset about that. But anyways, they had this out, and I've heard everyone talking about it, and everyone saying they like it, and I hear it has a lot to do with like pop culture in the 80s, which sounds amazing and right up what I love. So I'm really excited to read this. In case you didn't know, you know, because this book is all about the 80s, there's apparently an Easter egg in this book, and there's a contest going online where you have to like find the Easter egg, and then you have to go complete these things like these games or puzzles online, and then you could possibly win a DeLorean, which with an actual flux capacitor. I don't know why this is so hard for me to say, but you know what I mean, from Back to the Future. And I think that's amazing, and I know that I'm not gonna figure it out, but that would be awesome if I did. Like I said, I have a giant pile of books that I want to read and that are sitting on my floor and taunting me right now. So if there are any of these books that you are very particularly fond of, leave your comments down below and let me know. Or if there's a book you really want me to review, again, suggest that as well, and I can kind of rearrange my books a little bit in my reading order. Right now, I don't really have like a plan for my reading. Like I said, I finished Fahrenheit 451 already, and I'm reading Good Omens right now just so that way I can kind of catch up enough for the YouTube book club. But then after that, I have an idea of what I might want to read, but I mean, nothing's set in stone. A lot of times those things change for me. Just based on what my mood is after I finish whatever. And another reminder that I'll be doing Q&A video in a couple of weeks, so if you guys are interested, so if you do have any questions, feel free to leave them down below. They can be about anything. It can be about books and reading, or it could just be what's my favorite color, or what do I like to eat. Leave those questions down below, and once again, thanks everyone for subscribing to my channel, and thanks for watching. The other lens that I usually use for this for my and I have a little bit of a mini book haul. The author of this book, and it actually has a flux capacitor. The first thing, oops. Shh. If stop it. Leave a link down below to that video. This is what happens when you install things on your phone while you're recording. Maybe at 500. Freaking. Seriously, don't install things on your phone while you're recording.